Hi, everyone. Such an honor to be talking with someone who has been a part of popular culture. If you were growing up in the 80s and 90s and beyond, you probably know something about Jem and the Holograms. And this person has also been a featured voice on shows like Transformers. And that is, I will say, visual animation storyteller Samantha Newark. Samantha, thank you for joining.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hello, everybody.
Such a pleasure.
It's
Yeah,
lovely
yeah.
to be here.
If Lovely to have you. And if you're recognizing that voice, that is the voice of Jim from Jim and the Holograms.
It's so cute. I go to shows sometimes. Actually do a lot of appearances at Comic Cons and that type of thing. It is the sweetest thing because I don't even realize it's happening. But then the light bulb goes on. I'll start talking, and then they'll just
Mhm.
start like melting into their 8-year-old selves, and I realize it's because of my voice. It's like it's all
Yeah,
coming together in their heads. This is really sweet.
that's right. That's right. You have the power of nostalgia inside you. The power of nostalgia is with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, curious, I always like to ask people because I'm an English teacher and I'm always interested in connecting people with stories. What was it about storytelling and particularly storytelling and animation and visual storytelling that got you connected to this world?
Well, gosh, I've been a showbiz kid professionally since I was 7 years old. And to end up in the such an unbelievable time in animation and end up like right in the middle of it with the most amazing voice talent around and an incredible director, Wally Burr. Um, I mean, it really was a special time for animation in the 80s. I think that's why we're still here talking about it.
Hmm.
But there was no way I could have known. I started off, I've been a singer, a professional singer since I was a kid. So to end up in voiceover, show business is such a crazy path, and I've just found myself just like it's like a tide, and I just I say yes, if it sounds wonderful, I say yes. So it was a very unexpected turn in my life, but it's been absolutely, it was wonderful while I was working on the show, absolutely incredible. And um and to still be, getting to meet the grown-up Gem fans and having this beautiful pop culture love affair with Gem, is incredible. Yeah, it's very special.
I like to think of the 80s and 90s, especially in kind of media storytelling, as so powerful that people seem to keep trying to bring it back. Like I walk down the offerings of what's in the toy aisle and the media aisle now, and it's a lot of those materials that are harkening back to when I was growing up and when these things were coming out.
Yeah, and yeah, nostalgia is incredibly powerful. It really is. It's like
Hmm.
we all kind of, when I was doing Gem, the voice of Scooby Doo came in to do a session, and I grew up with Scooby Doo, and I grew up in England, and then we moved to Africa, and then back to England, and then to America. But the Muppet Show and Scooby Doo were something that was a consistent thing in my childhood. And so when he was standing there in front of me and he said hello Samantha in his Scooby voice, I about lost it. So I
Hmm.
understand the power of nostalgia. It kind of, it's like it's your childhood, and it's incredibly powerful. It taps into something really sweet, people remember it, or maybe not so sweet, but I know that Gem was a highlight to a lot of people that didn't have a great childhood. And they're like, but I had Gem, and I had the moral compass of Gem that I wasn't getting at home. And you just hear these incredible stories. So people have like a pretty hardcore emotional connection, which is beautiful.
Yeah. Now, I always try to think about what it's like to sort of be in the booth or the space of a voice artist and to try to embody characters. Is there anything in particular that you keep in mind as you're engaging in that kind of storytelling?
Yeah, I've learned over the years that everybody has got their special niche where they shine. And there's so much more to being, I think it's about being authentic. And I think it's about bringing your unique gifts and your unique delivery and your unique talent to the table, because everybody is unique. And when you try to sound like somebody else and you try to mimic and you try too hard, people can smell it. They really can. I think that there's something about, I mean, obviously you're following a script and you're doing a character, but how would Sam interpret this character, and how would Sam's delivery be? And they obviously heard something in my delivery when I booked it, that they were like, that's our gem. Um,
Hmm.
so I think if I'd tried to be anybody else than myself and my unique take on it, it probably wouldn't have worked, So yeah, because there are a lot of people that are really good at um, doing voices and mimicking different characters. And I've never been good at that. And for a while, I thought, oh my God, I can't, that's not in my wheelhouse. And I thought, I got to work on that. It's not in my wheelhouse. It's not something that I happen to be. It's not where I shine. But where I do shine, I've started to figure that out over the years. And if it's my job, then it's my job. And if it's somebody else's job, it's somebody else's job. So I think just not trying too hard to figure out what people need, other than the copy, because I mean it is not your material. You're trying to immerse yourself in somebody else's writing and deliver it so that it makes sense. And I also, if my reading gives me the chilly wills, then I feel like, okay, then maybe it's connected, that it's authentic. So those are the little things.
Love that. Finding the true voice. I love that.
Yeah, like very much the message of Gem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I know that we have an anniversary coming up. Is that right? It's 40 years of
it
Gem.
is.
Is this correct?
It is. Isn't that because I was a fetus when I did Gem? Um, yeah, so 2025 is the 40th anniversary. And I believe the show originally aired, I think it's October 6th. The fans will correct me if I'm wrong because they know everything. It's just they're a gem encyclopedia. But yeah, I think it was October 6th when it first aired. And yeah, it's the 40th year this year. So it's a super special year. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of embodying stories through kind of the characters, the action figures, the dolls. I know I grew up very much connecting to that, and as we were talking about nostalgia, there is that sort of like playing of story across the soundtracks, the
Yeah.
film, the Happy Meal toys, whatever it happens to be. There's of course the merchandising, but there's also the fun
Yeah.
storytelling part of it.
There.
So I know you brought along some show and tell. Is this true?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, for the 40th anniversary, the loyal
Hmm.
subjects have done this doll, and she's spectacular. Like she's heavy, like she's articulated, very articulated, and the platform, you press a button and it plays the Gem theme song. I mean, they really thought
Very
of everything
nice.
with all this stuff. So yeah, she's the 40th anniversary Gem doll, and they really did do a throwback, like even with the artwork on the box, and it's just beautifully done. I mean, bravo, the loyal subjects. It's beautifully done. And then Funko Pop, we've got a 40th anniversary Gem Funko, and they actually did the other characters too. It's not all of them, but they did Synergy, Kimber, Shayna, Aja, and then Gem. And there's more stuff
Nice.
coming. It just keeps on coming. That's yeah. I have to pinch myself.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny being an educator. There's so many teachers, professors I know. I walk into their office or to their classroom, and there's this like population of Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm.
They're their own pop culture kind of lingo, I think, in a way.
Yeah, it's quite brilliant actually, because I was seeing them everywhere at shows, and I'm like, what are those? Those are so stackable. Those. I wonder if they have any '80s stuff. Actually, my first Funko Pops that I bought were I asked somebody if they had Twin Peaks, and they were like, oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm a big Twin Peaks fan. So I got
nice, nice.
and Cooper and Laura and the Black Lodge, and I got myself, and that's where it started for me. And then I was like, oh my god, Billy Idol. like,
Oh,
I
yes, yes.
yeah. So I probably have about 20. Because growing up, when I moved literally to different continents as a child, I could never collect anything. It was kind of like, hey kids, hold on to a few things, but we're getting rid of stuff. And so I never really understood the collector's mindset because it wasn't a possibility for me. And and it literally wasn't until probably 4 or 5 years ago. Well, actually, the Gem fans have gifted me some of the Gem dolls along the way, which has been incredible. So I'm for the first time in my life, I'm I actually have some collectibles for myself and things that I really love beyond the Gem brand. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah, surround yourselves with things. You surround yourself with things that. I mean, I have the 16 candles. I grew up with that movie, like Samantha, 16 Candles. Who in the 80s
Hmm.
doesn't know that? And that meant something to me. And all the things that resonate to me as like a teenager and MTV and just all of it. It's fun. You look at them and it just makes you smile.
Absolutely. Sending the love to David Lynch, Molly Ringwald, all the things, all the things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, someone who grew up and wasn't able to collect and stack and carry, what's it been like to be someone who's kind of a fixture of pop culture for so many people?
It's literally blown my mind. I remember the first. So when I was doing Gem, we didn't even have a cast photo. I mean, this is before cell phones, kids, and the interweb. So
Hmm.
it was
Hmm.
very different back then. But like my first show I got invited to was in Secaucus, New Jersey, and these wonderful people reached out to me and they said, "We're having a Star Wars convention and we would love to invite you as a guest." And I was like, I don't get it. Like Star Wars, Gem, like what? I didn't really know anything about it. I think I'd heard of San Diego Comic Con, but I'd never really investigated it. Anyway, I show up at the show I was like, can I sing? Can I bring my guitar player? They flew my guitar player out. We did a concert.
Nice.
I sold my CDs, and then I had my little table, and Mark Hamill was the guest of honor, and there were like 20,000 stormtroopers, and but I was shocked. Like I was shocked how many people came up to me and wanted, signed pictures and things, and I couldn't believe it. It was pretty incredible. After so many years, that I got to really see how people just melt. They just love Gem. It's so cool. So then I started getting invited to more things, and I would just I didn't get to meet the Gem Kids when the show was on. I don't remember there being anything like that. I'd get like little letters. My agent would say, "You got a few more letters for some fans who come by and pick them up." But this is like face to face with their children now, the next generation. It's kind of mind blowing in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any fan encounters that you'd like to call back? Any that come to mind from over the years?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There have been so many people apologize for bursting into tears. And I feel like I have the love job because they're just like all overwhelmed with emotion. And I just get to hug on them and tell them I get it. It's nostalgia. It's your childhood. Like, why wouldn't you feel emotional? Those countless memories of that type of thing. And one time I was at a it was a wedding. No, it was an anniversary dinner in Nashville at the top of some building in this fancy cigar lounge. And I was there with my mom and my stepdad, and there was a wedding reception going on next door. And this girl, I don't even know, somebody, my mom may have told somebody that said something because we didn't even know the people at the wedding. This woman runs in her wedding gown. And she was like, "Oh my God, here, Jem, you have to sign my wedding dress." And I was like, "I can't sign. That's your wedding dress. No, I can't sign. I can't put any ink on your beautiful dress." And she's like, "No, you don't understand. You have to sign my dress." So I ended up signing like underneath the hem, wishing her and her husband a wonderful wedding and love Jem. And that was crazy and completely out
Hmm.
of the blue. And I've also had quite a few times actually, where people have asked me to autograph their arm or their their gem tattoo or something, and then they come back a couple hours later and they've tattooed my signature on them.
Oh wow.
Like,
Wow.
wow, I would have done that a lot. I would have been really, really, really careful. But yeah, and you get to meet the most incredible people. It's kind of like a big traveling circus. So many of the vendors
Mhm.
now I know because they're just lovely, and you're there, with all the people that are traveling with the show, from all different parts of the country. And I've just met the most amazing people that I never would have gotten to meet. Beautiful people. And I just every show is just another, gosh, I wonder who I'm going to meet, and I've made some beautiful friends over the years because of it. And it's just wild. It's so wild. 40 years later, I'm like, wow, this is my life. This
Hmm.
is pretty cool.
And
Yeah.
it continues. I know you had a part in the Gem movie from about 10 years ago now, and
God, has it been
I
that long?
know,
Oh my gosh. 10
yeah,
years.
I think that was 2015, and I know that the story will continue. And getting to sign someone's wedding dress, I have to say, has got to be a more prime position than even the maid of honor. Like, I think if the
That
maid of honor
was,
tried to mark up the wedding dress, she would get tossed. I
she
just
would
have
get,
to say.
she would get tossed, banished to the corner. Yeah, no
That's
treats.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. And I didn't say anything. It was I was there for like an anniversary dinner. Somehow somebody said something. So
Well, as we're talking fandom, interactions with fandom, are there particular convention spaces that people should know about, online spaces where they can connect with you and find more information about appearances and such
yes,
things?
I'm super excited. This is the first time I've talked about it publicly because we just finished it. We just created House of Gem fans because I've had my
Very
website
nice.
SamanthaNewark.com for many years now, and we just wanted to create like a beautiful, cool place for Gem for the 40th anniversary and beyond. So it's got my tour schedule up there, my 40th anniversary Gem tour schedule. It's got fan pictures and interactions are going to be constantly refreshed and put in there. I've got my stores up there. You can buy Gem dolls, you can buy Funko Pops, tote bags, all kinds of fun things. And there's a link to my other website as well if you want to check out my music and my vinyl and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's live now. We kind of did a soft launch. We haven't really promoted it at all yet, but House of Gem fans, we're super excited. And also we'd love people to sign the guest book because we want you to share your gemeries, your memories of Gem. And the stories that I've heard, like I said, over the years are so beautiful. And I, I just started asking people, can you write that down? Can you please write it somewhere? Because it just like, it's beautiful. It's people's journey with this show. So I'd love for people to sign the guest book. And if they have anything to share about their gemery, that'd be amazing. So
Connections, great connections. Now you mentioned music there, and I know that you have a couple of credits, I believe, as composer or something in the realm of music. So please tell us
yeah.
about how music connects with your storytelling.
Wow. So, yeah, I grew up singing professionally since I was 7. I made a record when I was 8, toured, did all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't really until, I mean, I sang all throughout my childhood. In fact, it's so funny. I met Kathy Lee Gifford last night at an event,
Oh, wow.
and I went over to her because I have a video of her introducing me on a telethon when I was 12, and she had like her Dorothy Hamill haircut, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"You, right? I knew it was you." Um, she's been a part of my world in LA, just in the music scene forever. Her and Regis used to introduce me at big benefits and things that I would sing at, and yeah, it was so crazy, kind of a full circle moment with Miss Kathy. She was lovely. She was great. Um, but yeah, so then I got into songwriting, and I heard Tori Amos, felt like she was reading my mail, and I just became a huge fan, and I started writing songs, original stuff, and I was in and out of a million different bands, original projects forever, out in LA, grinding, doing the grind, and yeah, and did a lot of session work for an amazing songwriter producer Michelle Weiss-Maslin. She's done a ton of stuff. And so, as far as my composer credits, I had quite a few things featured in film and TV, soundtrack,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. Did a bunch of writing for Warner Telepictures that, the songs would have just flown into all these different shows. It was really funny too, because fans would be like, was that you on Smallville? Was that your song? And I was like, I don't know. I won't know till ASCAP sends me a statement, but I was like, oh yeah, that's See You Never. Yeah. So music is always, and I played live. I toured with an incredible, it really was a music highlight because I'm a Pink Floyd fan, and I became an even more of a fan when I was a backup singer for Bricks in the Wall, which is the longest running US Pink Floyd tribute band. Stadium worthy show, like the whole laser light sound is original sound design from the films. Like, it was incredible. And I was one of three backup singers. Crazy Diamond, one of the Crazy Diamonds. And we used to tour all the way down to it was based out of Dallas, and we toured from Dallas down to New Orleans and Corpus Christi, and just would sell out the House of Blues, and had our rock star moments when everybody's like singing the lyrics with their phones, not the lighters anymore, but
Right.
they've got their phones and just singing that
Hmm.
incredible. In fact, I was with them when it was the 40th anniversary for Dark Side of the Moon, and we
Oh,
played the
wow.
album live front to we played the whole album live front to back, and it was epic. It was so cool. Great gig, the whole thing.
Amazing.
It was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Music touches the storytelling heart like I think nothing else does. And now I'm
Yeah.
picturing you. Are you a person who journals? Do you write ideas on napkins? What is the process like in your writing life?
It's changed so much. I used to write a lot on guitar. I'm not a good guitar player. I think because I've been so spoiled playing with like amazing session players in LA for so many years that are like the most percussive, beautiful, sounds like an orchestra, and just their beautiful guitar playing. So me picking up the guitar, but I used to write on guitar. And then I kind of got acclimated to GarageBand, which is sort of Logic with training wheels, because I
Hmm.
could only write in a certain tempo because I couldn't play fast enough. Or yeah, I was very limited with what I could do. I co-wrote with a bunch of different people, um, and yeah, and then I just started kind of writing to loops, and I really loved that because I just get a vibe from a certain kind of loop, and then suddenly there was a melody, and then the lyrics usually come, or I have an idea for a line, and then it develops from that. It's kind of, you never know what you're going to get, but I love writing, I love collaborating, and I love working by myself too, or working by myself for much of it and then bringing something that's almost fully formed to somebody that can kind of take it to the next level, because you always want to work with people that know more than you do. Surround yourself with people that know their stuff, and I've just learned so much over the years. It's My journey has taken me a lot of amazing places with amazing people. I'm really lucky. It's not been
Well, I
easy.
love the collaborative spirit. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been easy for sure, but if you love what you do, then you just love what you do. It's like I'm a lifer. That's what I always tell people. I will always do this in some
Yeah.
capacity. Yeah, I've always done it since I was 7, and I made the kids at school sit in a big circle at recess, and I made them
Hmm.
do, like, who was that girl? I'm so polite, and I can't imagine that I did that, but I did. I performed for them at school, and finally got in trouble because I was messing up the recess and the kids weren't running around. Samantha's got to stop performing during lunch because the kids are not getting their exercise.
That has got to be the greatest behavior referral in the world. The student will not stop performing. Uh,
Maybe nowadays they would get a clue. They'd be like, I think she's got performing in her soul, and she's going to do something with that,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Music teacher, theater teacher, come, assemble. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Find this kid her people.
That's right. That's right. I love that. I love that the person who was kind of the voice, the embodiment of Jim, has grown up to be in a Pink Floyd tribute band and has written and performed your own music. I love that. There's a
It's
great symmetry to
cool.
that story.
There
Yeah,
really is a great synergy. It's like life
that's
and
right.
art. It's so, yeah, and maybe that's also why, even though I didn't do the singing for Gem, I understood, you know, I understood the story. Because I lived it, but I got to live out my rock star fantasy with Gem for sure, for sure. So fun.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So listeners can check out things about Jim at House of Jim. They can check out your music connections as well. Did we miss anything that you want to make sure to share before we close out?
Um, I'm going to be at Nashville Comic Con if anybody's in the Nashville area or they want to take a road trip. Yeah, Nashville Comic Con is super fun. I did it a couple of years ago and they put on a great show. I did their inaugural show and I was like, whoa, like you never know when you
Mm-hmm.
do like a first show. It was fantastic. This is the third or fourth year now. I can't remember, but they're great people who put it on. It's super fun. It's family friendly, and I will be there with all my stuff. So Nashville Comic Con. If you look on my houseofgem.fans, it's got my schedule. So I've got some appearances coming up. So I may be coming to a city near you. So
Very great. I was in Nashville a few years back getting some coffee because I was there for a concert and I happened to run into Catwoman and Matt Murdock at the coffee shop. So I was like, there's a con around here. So evidently it sounds like it's a really good con.
yeah, it is. It's fun. It's really
Yeah,
fun. Nashville's a fun city too. I never thought I'd
it
end
is.
up here. I had such stupid preconceived notions of Nashville. I was like, no, 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 no. I thought
Right.
it was, not, I'm a pop singer, city girl, but then when I came here, I was like, oh, this is where the songwriters are. This is where the house concerts are. This is like
That's
you
right.
know, yeah, it's a great place to live. I love it. No regrets moving here.
Recommendations, but
Yeah.
great to connect with you, and always glad to chat. Storytelling, animation, music, all the things. And I will put this together in video and audio and get it sent back your way very soon.
I love it. Thank you so much. This was great.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
great to
Thank
talk
you
with you
for
and great
having
to
me,
meet you.
Jason. Great to meet you
Anytime.
too. You take
Thanks so
care.
much. You too.